Thank you all for being on time. I'm going to give it another minute before I start talking. But I hope you're all well today. Please feel free to use the chat and say hi, where you're from. Always happy to hear that. Well, okay, since we're being recorded and people can see it later, I will go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining today. My name is Jeff Rothberg. I am the Associate Director of Sales here at JoVE for the K-12 market, and I am just going to go through a quick demonstration of how to use JoVE in videos in Google Classroom, give you an overview of JoVE about how that works and how we can use it in Google Classroom, and we'll go from there. Please feel free to write questions in the chat. I'll be more than happy to take them at the end as well. So before I get into how to integrate JoVE in videos into Google Classroom, the first thing, of course, to go over is what exactly is JoVE and who are we and what do we do? So it does say on the screen that JoVE is the worldwide leader producer of scientific video content as well. However, specific to the K-12 market, JoVE is a vast video library designed for high schools. We cover all of high school resources from biology, chemistry, physics, all the way up through AP courses and potentially your IB courses as well. And it is a huge video library. There's roughly 18 to 19,000 videos total within the video library designed to supplement and support your entire curriculum. Now, when I talk about the video library, I do need to be a little bit more specific about these videos as well. There's actually different video types that JoVE is going to support. The first one is, I'm going to move myself out of the way here. The first one is our video textbooks, and these are our quick concept videos. And when I say quick, I mean they're quick. They're animated, they're short, they're roughly between 60 and 90 seconds long, and they're really designed to help the students understand a difficult concept. And it's the nice thing about the short videos is it's great for the TikTok generation of high schoolers as well. And more importantly, I had a teacher that was using JoVE videos to review for exams in New York State last spring. And she told me that she showed this class a 90-second video, and one of her students actually said, "Oh, so this is what you've been trying to get me to understand for 6 months." And as a former educator myself, stories like that always melt my heart. So those are what the video textbooks and the concept videos are designed to do. Additionally, I will go clockwise here on the screen. We do have our lab activity videos, which is exactly how it sounds. There's curriculum focus for lab prep, for theoretical concepts, protocols for students. In fact, I will just share sometimes equipment as well. I did show the specific video on how to use a Bunsen burner. It's about 7 minutes long. And how a Bunsen burner works, how to use it safely to my 14-year-old who actually really enjoyed it very much. And I thought to myself, you know what, if I can entertain my 14-year-old with a video on a Bunsen burner, I'm pretty sure it'll work on most 14-year-olds as well. So that is, again, my story that I like to share on that one. So there are the lab activities. We also have our scientific experiment videos, which are going to take it a little bit further. Students will be able to see the experiments in action. We actually went out with a video crew and shot the experiments on site, complete with the researchers, so students can see the experiment, understand the procedures, and see the real world applications of these procedures as well. But also the idea is to help the students replicate these activities. So for example, if you want to bring one of these labs into the classroom, these experiment videos are going to come with the protocols, the procedures, the materials that the teacher needs in order to replicate the experiments. But we also know, and I can say this as a former educator, sometimes you can't replicate the experiments either. They're too difficult to set up, you don't have the materials, they take too much time, or sometimes there's a liability involved. But you still want the students to see the experience and understand it and understand why it's important and see the relevance and why it relates to them in the real world as well. So that's the idea behind the experiment video. And finally, continuing in the clockwise motion, we still have our research videos. And in the research videos, they are exactly how they sound. They're designed for higher level research students who are looking for resources and looking for research. They might be looking for video encyclopedias, advanced research, peer-reviewed journals. All of that is going to be there. In fact, I like to speak in stories. I was talking to a research teacher just yesterday, actually, and he was telling me he had 16 research kids, and the problems that he runs into is that the kids go online, they're Googling everything, they're overwhelmed, they have a hard time finding things because they're searching the entire internet and trying to find the right resource. And then, of course, they don't know what to find. They can't find the article, or they can't read the article because it's very high level and they have a hard time with it. And I showed him the research section that shows the article, the citations, and everything to go along with it, as well as the video. Like he said, this is great. This is really going to help my students focus and find the research they need and save them a lot of time too. So that's the basics of the videos that JoVE covers. Again, these are the 4 video types with 19,000 of them. They are aligned to state standards, and we're ready to go. So let's move on. So I'm going to focus in on how taking JoVE and integrating it into Google Classroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off of my little PowerPoint slide here and switch over to the JoVE website. So here's when you log in to JoVE for high schools. This is how it's going to look. Most teachers tell me they feel it's easy to see and easy to understand, easy to navigate. And I just mentioned a minute ago, the video textbooks, the lab videos, the experiment videos, and the research videos. They're all here. So if we're going to integrate into Google Classroom, there's a few ways to do it. Some teachers will simply explore and ask a question for a new AI feature to find the videos they want. Maybe they're searching by a standard. However, they find the video that they want to use in conjunction with their lesson and put it into Google Classroom. They're all going to wind up on a video page that's going to look something similar to this one. So on this page, you can see we've got our language supports. You can embed the video elsewhere. You can add playlists and quizzes, which you can also put into Google Classroom, which I will explain in a second. But if I like this video and I'm going to use it, I want to share it out to my students, the easiest way to do it is to come over to the Share tab. And from this Share tab, I can just click the link that's going to send it directly to Google Classroom. So once I click this link, here I am. I'm going to share to Google Classroom. I'll choose my class. I only have one right now. I'll create the assignment. Whatever I want to call it. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to make it due tomorrow. Why? Because kids love it when schoolwork is due tomorrow. And I can add in, of course, a topic. I can create the topic, whatever I need it to be. I'm going to hide myself out of the way, and then I'm going to assign it to the class. And now I've posted to my class. So now if I look in my Google Classroom, which is over here, I can see where the class is, where the assignment is. I can see that I just assigned it. Here's the work assignment I just sent out. And so the student can go right into the assignment, find what they need. It'll bring them right back to the activity and right back to the video itself. So that's one way. The second way is, let's say I am in JoVE and I want to share with them a whole playlist of resources. Because teachers have the ability to create a playlist, whether it's ahead of time. For example, maybe you want to create a playlist for the students to review before they come to class. Maybe it's a review playlist. Maybe it's preparing for an exam. Maybe it's just a playlist for the whole syllabus that you want them to have. However, whatever the playlist is from, whether you've created it or whether you've borrowed it from us, you can share the entire playlist. So here's how it works. So let's say I'm in all of my playlists here. So here's all of my playlists. These are mine that I have in the resource. And maybe I want to share with them the environmental science playlist, which is going to look like this. So these are all the videos on this particular playlist for environmental sciences, for example. So if I go back to this page, I've got my environmental sciences here. All I have to do is come right to this tab where I copy the playlist URL and go back into Google Classroom. And maybe I want to create the work here. I create it from here. Maybe I can call it an assignment if I want. And then again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm building my playlist. I can drop the link right in the instructions, assign it to all of my students, make it due again Friday. I'll give them an extra day. I can add in the topic if I need to, but either way, I can assign it right from here. So once I go in here and I can see it, I've got the playlist assigned. Here it is again. And if I click the playlist, it's going to bring me right back to that exact same playlist. The students can watch it. The same particular procedure works if I wanted to share a quiz with my classes. So, because I can create quizzes within JoVE as well. So I've got my particular quiz. I've got my quiz library, which I can pull from and I can tweak and change it. And then I have my quizzes that I've already built that are ready to go. And let's say I want to use this particular quiz. This is the same quiz that's on a minute ago. It's the lab techniques quiz that has 15 questions. I just didn't change the titles on it, but either way, so this is the quiz I want to send out. If I want to send it out, I just need to go over to the distribute quiz tool, which is going to give me the ability to copy the link and then dump it right into Google Classroom the exact same way. That's a quick nutshell about how to incorporate JoVE into Google Classroom, how to put things in Google Classroom and work at it from there. I will say that when I share this with teachers, I didn't mean to share that, sorry about that. When I share this with teachers, they usually tell me the key benefits are that it saves them a lot of time, it's easy to use, which is great because I was a high school teacher once. I do want to save them time. I do want it to be easy to use. I've never met a teacher who says, "Yeah, give me a 3 hour long training. I want to sit in that." No, no, no. They want something that's quick and easy to pick up and run with it. And using JoVE in the Google Classroom is certainly going to do that. And of course, the other important part is from the student point of view, it does improve student engagement. Students have said they find the videos engaging and relevant and fun to watch. I heard that from my own 14-year-old who said that to me. And it also improves student outcomes. The research has shown that having a visual aid, having other ways for students to learn concepts are going to improve the outcomes. And using JoVE has specifically increased student retention in terms of learning concepts as well. So I did want to share some of those key benefits. I know this is quick, really short. I've been talking for 10 minutes straight, and I know that there's a handful of people in here, which is wonderful. Do you all have any questions for me that you want to ask about JoVE and or using Google Classroom with JoVE? Oh, okay. There weren't any questions in the chat. Thank you. I got to thank you. This is quick and easy. That's the perfect thing to say from anyone in education. That's always my goal, to make it quick and easy. I will say this in terms of JoVE. If you have any questions, I'll keep an eye on the chat. JoVE, of course, is available. The quotes are relatively inexpensive, relatively depending on how large the district is, of course. And if schools are already subscribing, they can reach out to us at this website. You're also welcome to reach out to us for a personalized school demo, any kinds of trials. We do 30-day trials. You can do it with teachers and students, whatever you want. So you can, of course, always reach out to this website, this email address, of course. But additionally, if you want to reach out directly to me, I can get you in touch with the correct rep for whichever region you're in. This is my direct contact information. You're welcome to email me. You're welcome to call me anytime. But otherwise, I really appreciate the time today. I'll stick around for a few minutes if anyone has any other questions. Otherwise, I really appreciate everything you listening to me today, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you very much.